The Green Lanterns have been tasked with protecting the 3,600 sectors of space. Using nothing but willpower and light, they have faced threats beyond imagination, in brightest day and blackest night. But they have never faced anything like this. Hal Jordan laments that the Justice League had to break the Source Wall in order to defeat the Dark Multiverse. But Guy Gardner remains unimpressed. No matter how they put it, Hal and his friends broke the universe. The old rulebook just went out the window. On Earth, Brainiac attacks in full force. The Suicide Squad, Titans, Teen Titans, and Justice League move in to intercept. But Brainiac is proving a formidable threat. Amanda Waller knows she must activate Task Force 11 in response. Meanwhile, Brainiac shows Superman a vision of him destroying the superpowered champions of this world and conquering the planet. But he did not come for Superman's world today. He came for the Justice League. Not as it is, but as it can be. Heroes and villains wake up on Brainiac's ship, with strange nodes applied to their various gear. Brainiac greets them and explains, while willingly submitting himself to Wonder Woman's lasso of truth, but he brought them all together to ask for help. He tells a story, one familiar with the Martian Manhunter as an old legend, but one which Brainiac insists is all too true. The oldest beings in the universe share in this myth, as it is older than civilization or even language. It's a story of 4 brothers, impossibly powerful cosmic gods, each embodying one of 4 fundamental energies in sentient life. They were called the Omega Titans, and they embodied entropy, wisdom, wonder, and mystery. Each believed their core energy to be the dominant power of intelligent life. To prove themselves right, they planted seeds of cosmic energy throughout the universe, and when this universe would end, and determine which of the 4 energies reigned supreme. On each planet they would determine which of the 4 energies became dominant, and the winning Titan would get to consume that world. One by one they would eat each of these worlds, consuming the dying universe. A garden to be eaten by its overseers. The Omega Titans have appeared and are starting to consume world after world. The Source Wall being destroyed has set this into motion. Brainiac has divided the heroes and villains into teams based on the energies they embody. If they can work together and restore balance to the universe, they just might be able to save it. Though tensions between the heroes and villains remain high, and a battle nearly breaks out, Brainiac silences them when he announces their arrival at Colu. This is the home of the smartest race of sentient life in the universe. Brainiac's people have come to embody wisdom over all other energies. This is their only chance to save this planet, and if they don't, they will not only doom Colu, but Earth as well. Brainiac has ensured that Earth will be the next target after this one, so like it or not, these heroes and villains will have to help him. As he begins giving orders, Brainiac suddenly detects a presence in his mind. Back on Earth, Amanda has gathered Task Force 11, a team of telepaths who she orders to invade Brainiac's mind. No more will Earth be ignorant of these larger events involving the Dark Multiverse and the Source Wall. But as Brainiac attempts to resist this psychic onslaught, his brain explodes. As the gathered Earthlings look on at the Omega Titan, one thing is perfectly clear. They're so screwed. Hello and welcome to Comic Island. My name is Arden and this is my review for Justice League No Justice #1. Well, this was an amazing issue. I had seen like one ad for this thing before checking out this comic, and so I really didn't know what to expect, but I was really impressed by what I saw. This is a real crossover of a comic featuring the talent of 3 writers in Scott Snyder, Joshua Williamson, and James Tynion IV. Together they've created a really interesting story with a very tangible mythology to it that frames the entire narrative. This whole idea of the four Titans and them embodying certain energies, which in turn the four Justice League members have to embody, is a very cool concept. And on the whole, not only is it a great story for us to follow as part of this little mini-series, but is something that really has potential for other adaptations and stuff like that. If there was some ambitious creator who wanted to make something along those lines. But whatever they have planned, I am down for this mini-series. It's great, and Francis Manapul does some amazing work. Everything looks so cool, the way the Titans just consume every panel and envelop it completely in comparison to the heroes who are just tiny little humans. These are giant ancient beings that have been awakened as a result of something as fundamental as the Source Wall being destroyed. It all nicely ties together with what's been going on from DC Metal, but also concepts from Justice League vs. Suicide Squad, what with Task Force 11 being a huge prevalent thing. Scott Snyder's fingerprints are all over this comic more than anyone else, but I really appreciate the work he does here. On the whole, it's well done, and he's really at his best with this stuff. I enjoyed his time with Batman, but as he's getting into these bigger Justice League stories, he seems to have a real hand at it. One that I haven't seen in some time. I'm very excited to see what he does with Justice League, seeing what he does here, because it's been great so far, and I'm looking forward to seeing where things go. There's a great setup overall to how this comic starts, giving us an excellent idea of the premise, only to shatter our expectations right away by taking Brainiac out of the equation, or at least so it appears. Since he's the one who knows what has to happen, it's going to be very interesting to see how they do with Kolu. Entropy, wonder, and mystery are going to basically have to make up for the prevalence of wisdom on Kolu. How they do that, or if they can do that, it'll be interesting. But looking at the four teams, which this promotional image helpfully does, it's going to be very cool to see how these different heroes interact with one another and take advantage of these energies. It is a little bit similar in design to the Green Lanterns, and the whole concept of the various colors of the rainbow embodying certain emotions and in turn Lantern Corps. Yet, it seems deliberate. This story starts on the Green Lanterns, almost as if they're deliberately referencing them right off the bat. So I don't have many negative things to say about this in terms of critique, because it's a lot of fun. The characters interact with each other in lots of interesting ways. We get some great moments between Lex Luthor and Martian Manhunter that's a lot of fun. Starro is just a great choice to have as a character, and every line he has is really just entertaining and perfect for that villain. While the Titans and Teen Titans have great interactions with each other. Even Bruce and Damian have a good moment between one another in this story that I quite appreciated. Little things drive the story as well, such as Brainiac using Wonder Woman's lasso of truth to show the other heroes that he's being genuine in his need for help and wanting to work together, yet Brainiac is still arrogant and his usual villainous self in this story. They just happen to have allied purposes in terms of what he needs with the Justice League right now. And even then, he's just totally willing to bring in a bunch of villains in spite of what the League might think. So each of the characters is written well. In spite of there being 3 writers, it's a little hard to tell who does what. I get the impression that Snyder has a good hand in the overall arc of this story, because a lot of the general plot elements we're talking about here, with a big mythology informing the narrative, that's him. Yet Joshua Williamson seems responsible for the stuff going on with Suicide Squad and Amanda Waller, because he's the one that came up with Task Force 11, and there's certain aspects of that writing that seem very familiar to him. And James Tynion IV seems to be present in a lot of the character interactions. It's kind of cool to see this. It's not a mess, even though there are 3 writers writing one 26-page script. So well done to all of them. This is one of the more energetic comics I've read in some time. I haven't felt this way since DC Metal started really revving up along the same lines. This was actually our winner for what I was going to review out of the Patreon poll, because like I said, I didn't really know a lot about this event until I read the first comic. And I was really impressed with it. I would definitely recommend you get it for yourself. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep reading comics.